Hey, what is up guys? This is Josh the Gamer here, coming at you with a brand new video. So today in this tutorial video for the Quorum game engine, we are going to be learning about the main loop of a game. Now, the main loop is essentially the beating heart of a game. It's where it's pretty much where all the magic happens. The best way I can describe the main loop of a game is it's pretty much an infinite loop that is used for updating objects within the game, whether it be their color, their position, whatever else. Like stuff like platform movement, stuff like that. You can think of a game loop as something that does all that. It's also used for testing for whether a player is at a certain position, so you can set up invisible barriers that cannot be passed, which is pretty cool. It can do so many different things that's kind of hard to explain every single one of them. But I'm pretty much going to give you an idea of what the game loop, like what a traditional game loop would look like. So let's go ahead and I'm going to open a new text edit document, and don't worry about this other document. That's my list of future Java tutorials that I have planned. But anyway, at any rate, let's go ahead and enlarge this text in my text editor. Now, you can think of a game loop, like I said, as an infinite loop. However, you don't, depending on what you're using, you don't always have to set up a loop. Like, you don't have to set up an infinite loop in order to, have your game loop. A lot of the time, in some game engines, there will be a method or action, in Quorum's case, called update. And pretty much, as the name entails, update is the game loop, so it's used for updating everything every frame. So it's really, really cool. The way the update action is coded in Quorum is action, update, and then it takes one parameter, and that is number seconds. Now, if you have ever used Java, which I don't know how many of you have, some of you may be beginners, really, to computer science or computer programming as a whole. But I will say that in Slick2D, the Slick2D game library for Java, they have the same exact, well, almost the same exact method signature, or action signature, whatever you want to call it, for their main loop in their game engine. However, instead of number, it's double, and instead of seconds, it's delta. So you can kind of, if you go from Quorum to Slick2D, which is a more advanced game engine, you can, kind of have a feel for what it actually does. But, for example, say we wanted to update the player's position when you press the left arrow key. You can do that within the update action. You can do that through the update action using what's called input polling, which you will learn about in a later tutorial. If you want to, say, have the player moving at a constant pace, like an auto runner, like an auto endless runner game, you can do that within the update loop and just have the player moving at a constant pace throughout the entire game. Until a specific test is met for ending the game. It's that kind of stuff. That's pretty much how I would explain the game loop. There's really not much to learn about it other than it's a loop or it's an action, method, or actual physical loop that will execute infinitely until you end the game. You know, in this action, method, loop, whatever you want to call it, will update any game object or any game mechanic every single frame. So guys, that's pretty much the gist of the game loop. And we will see you all in the next video where we will actually be creating a game project within NetBeans or Oddbeans or whatever you're using. We will create a project. We'll create a game project, and we will look at the anatomy of a game class within Quorum. So guys, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you all in the next one.